Welcome to your sales tip of the week. I'm Elyse Archer, founder of She Sells, and I am so excited that you are here. This is the first of what I plan to be many weekly tip videos for you. And so if you are watching this right off the bat and you are like the first person watching this, welcome. Or, maybe you're watching this years from now and hopefully there's millions of views on this video. Either way, I'm glad you're here and I'm excited to share today's tip for you to help you increase your sales. And it is to lean back, to literally lean back in your client conversations. And I'll tell you why this is important. I struggled for so many years, first in corporate sales, and then when I went off on my own to create my own business, I struggled with feeling so much pressure that everyone had to become my client because that was so much of the messaging that I got from corporate and from it was like everywhere, right? Everywhere I was reading sales training and sales resources, it was like, here's how to make sure that you have a 90% closing rate and yada, yada. And what I found was that I would feel so much pressure to sell and to close every single person for a yes, that I would literally break out into hives and like sweat in my sales presentations. It wasn't pretty. And I did well, but my health suffered along the way. And what I found was that it felt like so much of what I was being taught was manipulative and it just didn't feel right. And so things really started to change for me when I learned the value of literally leaning back in client conversations. And, I think there's a couple of keys to help you learn to do this. And I want to share with you my top three. But the first is to just remember what sales actually is. Sales is not about every single person you talk to becoming your customer. And a lot of, like I said, corporate sales training programs that I've been through, they don't want you to think that. They want you to be able to turn every single person into your customer. It's just not the case, right? It's kind of like when you're a hammer, you think everything is a nail. Well, that gets really annoying to all the people around you if you're constantly berating them about like, no matter what your problem is, no matter what your challenge is, I'm the solution, I've got it. And it is about having a healthy understanding of who your product is a good fit for, but really knowing that sales is simply about helping other people make the best decision for them and serving them. That is it. It's really about a conversation with a potential customer where you're both mutually exploring whether you're a good fit to work together. And that's where the lean back comes into play. Is you'll notice sometimes when you're sitting in your seat, like let's say that you're sitting and you're having a sales call or a Zoom call, and you may find yourself kind of like leaning forward and feeling anxious, and maybe your foot's tapping or like you're sweating like I used to. And it's pausing to sit back and to realize that you need this person to sell you on why they should become a customer as much as you're selling them on them working with you. It's that mutual exploration. And only when you're confident that they're going to be a good customer for you and you can really help them and serve them with what they're looking for, do you go into the price conversation and talk about what their options are. But literally just physically kind of sitting back and taking a breath is going to help you so much. The second tip is to know where your worth actually comes from. This is critical. If you think your worth comes from someone saying yes to you and how much money you make, you're constantly going to feel stressed out. You're constantly going to feel anxious. And trust me, I know because I've been there. Your worth comes from you being here on this planet. You have greater value than any dollar amount you could ever earn. Because you are here, you are inherently worthy. And, the solution to understanding that, it's not an overnight fix. It's been a 7 to 10 year, really intense, like personal development journey for me, coming from a place of really low self-worth. And I'm still on that journey, but I'm so much farther than I was, even a year ago. And one of the best resources that I think has really helped me is meditations by Dr. Joe Dispenza. So we don't have time in this full video to get into like tips on that, but I would check out some of his meditations, particularly the Generating Abundance one is really, really good. And start to just really sink into the fact that you are so worthy. Regardless of whether somebody buys from you or not, you're worthy of everything you desire, everything you want, and your inherent worth and value has nothing to do with whether somebody buys from you or not. Ironically, when you start to show up to your sales conversations that way, more people will buy from you because you're emanating a different energy. It's not desperation. It's magnetism. It's like, ooh, what has she got? I want that. I'll have what she's having, right? And then the third tip is just have genuine curiosity and love people. And when you can enter into your sales conversations this way, just with genuine curiosity. I was doing a podcast interview that's coming out the week that I'm recording this. It's episode 78 of She Sells Radio. I believe that's the right number. And it's with Laura Meyer. And she's built multiple 6-figure, 7-figure businesses. And her whole approach going into sales conversations is just, I just want to find out what this person needs. Whether it's me, whether it's something else, I have no agenda going in other than to make sure they get what they need. And just that curiosity that like, who is this person? What's on their heart? What are they yearning for? How are they self-sabotaging? What's getting in their way? How can you truly be of service? Sometimes it will be by working with you. Other times it won't be, and it'll be, you need to refer them somewhere else. And that's okay, right? That's when we can kind of take the step back. And I'll probably do a whole nother video on this, but this is something I learned from my mentor, Gina, and it really helped me, is just, you can be attached to the what, but not the how. So you can be attached to, I am going to generate X amount of money this month because it serves this specific purpose. However, I cannot be attached to who and how that comes in. When you can step back and say, my job is to know what the target is that I'm aiming for, and to just show up and serve people and take the inspired action to do that, you'll be surprised at who buys from you sometimes. Sometimes you think you've got a call with someone and you're like, this person's a shoo-in to work with me, and they end up not buying from you. But then the next day you get a totally random call from someone you've never heard of, and they're ready to buy. It's like the easiest sale you've ever made. You get to be attached but not the how. So having that genuine curiosity and just kind of that ease and that leaning back in your conversations helps those opportunities flow in that otherwise you just wouldn't have been available for it, because you were holding on so tightly to one specific thing happening. And we hold on so tightly like that, we're not open for the unexpected, the miracles to flow in. That's it, my friend. So remember this week, while you are in your sales conversations, whether that's a one-to-one conversation, maybe it's like a webinar you're hosting, or maybe you're even just typing some copy for social media, like lean back, let the clients come to you, let you just get yourself to that place of feeling like you're just so good about yourself and what you're all about and your worth. Knowing your worth does not come from the outcome of the sales conversation. That comes from the daily practice, right? Your meditation, your journaling. I've got a great guide for you that'll help with that. My 6-figure morning routine. If you just go to my website, ElyseArcher.com, it's at the very top there, but it's that daily practice, that stepping into your worth. And that's going to help you really lean back in those client conversations. So I hope that helps you. I hope that serves you. Comment below with how well you think you're doing in this. Have you implemented this? Is it working in your life? Are you anxious on your sales calls like I used to be? And if so, what are you going to implement from the tips today? And I can't wait to hear what you think. And I will be back next week with your next sales tip of the week. Bye for now.